Welcome back. We are at the Midwest Premodern Championship. This is round 6. We have 3 draws in the top 8, but we have one win-and-in match here between Caleb Durward on Red Green Madness and Tschida on Parfait Oath. Looks like Caleb is going first. I don't think there were any mulligans. And, it looks like John's going first. He's going to play a line tax and pass. We saw Caleb earlier in the day playing the Red Green Madness deck briefly, right? Or
no,
did we do a whole match? We did a whole match. Yeah, he played against Dead Gaea.
Yep. Wait, did the basking roll just get discarded?
Yeah, Caleb discarded a hand size to prevent John from
land taxing. I love it.
He's gonna discard another basket wall.
This
is how you play against.
How you play around land
Parfait Oath.
Well, he doesn't know if there's Oath of Druids, because this is certainly problematic if you see Oath,
right?
Which he does have. So
looks like another plow from John.
I love the creative ways just to fight different.
Yeah,
I could do these things that I wouldn't normally do, but I always like the creative thinking.
I've been playing about some mono red lately, and that's most of the reason that I have Lava Dart in there now. And we saw Tomatelski play really well in the PSS finals against a Parfait with Lava Dart. But honestly, this Parfait deck, if you play around land tax well, I think you get a lot of percentage points against it.
Okay.
And a lot of people just aren't doing that enough. Maybe. All right, John is going to attack. And then, I think we're going to see an Oath of Druids.
Yep, slamming it down.
It's like he had some drama on it though,
Yeah, well, the way he kind of picked up all the cards.
Is it this one? Maybe he doesn't have it. Please, but he did. All right, Caleb's just gonna say, okay, if you're oathing, I'm gonna put out
a bunch of mana.
All these
creatures. So he went Wall of Roots into Fyndhorn Elves, play a Gaia's Cradle, tap it, play a Wild Mongrel, and a Birds of Paradise.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Caleb, that's not a lot of power for how many creatures he played.
Yeah. There's a lot of mana though.
Yeah.
And I mean, the worst thing that's going to happen is he's going to lose 2 elves to Shard Phoenix here, right? Or John's going to gain, upwards of 15 life.
Yeah. That's the thing is, with the Oath, you're not exactly sure what they're getting. There are sometimes Triskelion, sometimes Ancestors Chosen, Shard Phoenix, Phantom Nishoba. Phantom Nishoba is probably the worst of these situations. It looks like John has opted for Ancestors Chosen and Shard Phoenix.
What if he gets Ancestors Chosen and Caleb just gets a Phantom Nishoba next turn? That'd be kind of hilarious.
The race for the life total. All right, Ancestors Chosen. We'll get the count up and see. Maybe we're testing on how high my life counter can go.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't count those. I'll let them.
I think it was 19. That's how I was counting, but
John goes, I don't want to do this. Caleb goes,
it was 20. Plus 20.
All right, so definitely a life question. How well can Caleb, if he's just given enough time, can he deal an absurd amount of damage? I feel like his deck struggles a little bit more. It's not like Elves where you can just go over the top.
Yeah. Natural Order into the show does seem kind of sweet though, right? He does have that way to go.
Yeah. Problem is you can just block, soak up some of the damage, your creature's gonna die, you'll get to Oath again, and I guess Shard Phoenix might Yeah, and I don't know. Eventually, you're gonna gain a bunch of life.
They're going to
probably.
gain a lot of life on you.
Yeah, yeah. But if
I don't know if he has a good answer to Oath main deck either. It's a
I guess-
Flame Tongue Kabu for this Ancestor's Chosen.
I mean, he's gonna Oath again anyway, so. We were talking about Flame Dome Kawu, who doesn't always have the best targets, and so far we've seen Caleb get a Masticore and an Ancestor's Chosen. So
The perfect has not wasted a damage point on
Yeah.
stream. And swinging for 3. I think it's a little odd playing this Strange Hermit here, since John is definitely going to Oath up a Shard Phoenix here, right?
but Caleb doesn't necessarily know that. Like, it's not like the lists are public. Like, you can suspect that what is normal, but like you have to be in tune and like I don't know. I don't fault anyone for not knowing exactly what creatures are going to be oathed up.
Caleb's got to know, though. Right? He's got to know.
He could be thinking it's just going to be like a Triskelion or something. I don't know. So I don't know if we mentioned it, but like these players are this is a win and out for Caleb, right?
Yeah.
And it's
a win and in for John, too.
okay,
Because John is 3-1-1 going to this round.
and Caleb's X and 1. So if Caleb was able to draw, he would have taken it.
Right, yeah, he got paired down, and the next 2 down are both 3 and 2. Table 5 was, I don't know I believe it's paired still, like 1, 2, 3, 4. I think John got that Shard Phoenix, and Caleb scooped to it.
I was sifting through deck lists. So I just got to Caleb's list, and then the game's done. So I guess that means we can look at sideboard.
The other way to go, if Caleb's hand is like that, like he's probably not going to win anyway. If running a Shard Phoenix,
yeah. So looking at what Caleb has to fight, he's got 3 Naturalize. He's got an Elvish Lyrist. Those are his tools to fight the enchantment half. Mm-hmm. There's Nuktabi or anything that might be able to blow up a scroll rack. And then Genesis might be a card that you want to recur stuff. Even though like Swords of Plowshares is sometimes removing the cards.
yeah, I like the Genesis, the Nuktabi, the Naturalizes, and the Lyris for sure. I might even be in the Avalanche Rider. You could I control your mana against the land attacks. blow up your own land.
Yeah, just look. There's these 3 natural orders, and it's like there's 1 Phantom Neshoba. I feel like I would want something else, but maybe not. Maybe like, what's the next best thing? Burden Force or Symbiotic Worm? I don't know. And Symbiotic Worm, if you can't sack it, is the big 7/7.
Yeah. Sylvos?
Yeah, that would a big trampler. Looking at John's list,
Sylvos might be kind of sweet.
He's gotten an Acroma that he could bring in instead of the Ancestor's Chosen. I don't know if that's.
I think you probably do want a Chroma against them.
Yeah, Ancestor's Chosen isn't bad against Caleb either. Pyroclasm, that's probably something that you come in. He didn't see.
You could bring in an E-Plague, but
yeah, he didn't see Survival of the Fittest, but I feel like you can kind of conclude that with like Basking Gorillas.
Yeah. Yeah, he's he might bring in Meddling Mage for the survivals, but it's not as good as like when Sam played against elves, right?
Yeah, Caleb has more ways to interact. He's got lightning bolts and a Grim Lavamancer and Flame Tongue Kavu, which I don't know if that would stay in, but
yeah, when Caleb and I were talking about this deck on Twitter, somebody said like, I don't know why you'd play Red Green Madness over elves, and I think like there's times where it is more resilient, you know. It doesn't do the exact same thing, you know.
Yeah, I guess the idea is when you don't have survival or like, I mean, I think more of a bigger draw would be like you're not as susceptible of a card like Engineered Plague.
Yes.
Or
yeah.
Like, I think that's probably the biggest thing is there are times you play the elf deck and there's an Engineered Plague in play, and you're just sitting there and waiting until you find a naturalize, and your deck like doesn't do anything otherwise. I guess sometimes you get survival and then put a face down Nantuko Vigilante into play, but
yeah. Yeah, I don't know if he's necessarily out against a Shard Phoenix like Elves is. He was that game.
well, he certainly like Wild Mongols and Arrogant Worms are fine against
Yeah.
the Shard Phoenix.
I could have seen continuing to play there. Possibly, like, he keeps his bird, he keeps his wall, he keeps his Wild Mongol.
Yeah, I mean, he was at
But
like 37 life.
yeah. And he's going to be Ancestor struggling again soon. Yeah, Caleb really likes Premodern as far as I can tell. Like he's really enjoyed the times he's played.
Well, the one thing that's fun is it has enough space that you can do something fun and like brew. So
he's been playing long enough that he's has some nostalgia for these cards too.
Well, I mean, if you're talking about Survival of the Fittest and Basking Root, well, that's where he burst onto the scene with when he played Legacy and was
that's true.
pitching
Yeah.
Vendrines and so yeah, definitely I think Survival and Basking Root are cards that are close to his heart.
Caleb, when I ran to Caleb, he's like, "Hey, I hear you're having a big Canadian Highlander tournament next week. I think we're gonna go to that next Wednesday. I think we go to that too."
Wow. He's gonna make a whole new deck of
So he's gonna make some deck for that.
Do you build a bunch of Canadian Highlander decks?
I don't play Canadian Highlander at all.
I mean, I've watched some of the videos that they've done, and it's kind of cool. Like it feels like Legacy in some ways, like and some of the but then also in some ways it feels like EDH. Like the some of the wild combo decks they have are pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a fun format. I like the format. I don't know. I only got time for one fringe format.
Yeah.
I probably spent too much time already on Premodern.
All right, so Caleb's got to win 2-0 to advance the top 8 here. But John's looking to sneak into the top 8 as well. I see a survival in Caleb's hand, so didn't like the rest of the cards, I guess.
And the tables right under them are all crossing their fingers. A 4-2 is probably making it in.
I think it's guaranteed.
Yeah.
Well, there were 2 X, O, and 1s.
Yeah.
They will draw, and then I don't remember how many X and 1s, and they should all draw.
So
Caleb was the only X and 1 that could not draw.
So he could make it in with a loss. It's totally reasonable. We see both these players in top 8.
Yeah.
If John wins.
Okay. I guess then it would come down to tiebreakers. But yeah, Lester was a little bit relieved, thinking that he might have a outside shot of sneaking in at X and 2. So
yeah,
I think Sam Black was. That might be the matchup that Lester has.
I think Sam dropped.
Oh, okay. Sam, yeah.
Surprised he dropped though.
Caleb mulliganed to 4 cards, and then cast Finor Knives. So this is the situation you definitely don't want to see, like an Oath of Druids come down.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't love seeing a Windswept Heath for a forest because.
Is that typically what's indicating? Yeah.
I would guess 9 times out of 10 that means an Oath of Druids is coming into play.
Just an Ivory Tower. That's like a side. Well, obviously Oath is not coming down off 1 mana, but. All right. Caleb passes the turn. And we do have an Oath. I guess. Well, is there anything crazy? Well, okay, here's the situation.
Well, he has naturalizes. I'm guessing Caleb is the type.
Is that that's what was that? That might have been part of the reason why he mulliganed so much, is he was really looking for a card like Naturalize.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He's definitely the type. now that he knows what he's playing against, to like go for that key card that's gonna make him not lose. He didn't play that bird because he knew he was playing naturalized.
Yeah, he was looking at it.
Although you didn't play it again.
Well,
I like not playing it though.
Here's one situation: if John were to Oath and get Shard Phoenix and wipe away the board, then Caleb would get to Oath back if there's no Birds of Paradise.
Yeah. Well, I think
know.
more what it is he wants to have a creature in his hand if he draws a survival of the fittest.
That's probably more likely. Because he's got a lot of creatures he would Oath into. It's not like he's spinning the wheel to get like a Neshoba like John is. All right. Well, at this point, like John has played an Ivory Tower, which has gained him a couple life points.
It hasn't done a ton against him though. Like so far, like he played that Oath, but it looks like he doesn't have much follow up. Like he kept an Oath draw, without not much more action.
Here's a Scroll Rack. Yeah. That might help, though.
Scroll Rack, I feel, is the weakest piece of the deck to get on its own. I've had a lot of Scroll Rack games not go great.
Well, it especially hurts like when you have if you were to mulligan or something and you don't have anything going on, and like this hand, it seems fine because he's got all those cards in his hand. But yeah, there are definitely times where you're like, oh, I just need to draw something. It's like you draw Scroll Rack. It's like it's almost a blank.
Yeah, to me, like Sylvan, great. Lantax, great. Scroll Rack. All right, I hope this does something here.
But when it does do what it wants to do, it's very super powerful.
Right. But if you see the top 4 cards and they're not what you wanted, you're kind of stuck for a while. It's as if it's not even, you're spending mana to still get to see new cards. Like, and you don't get to see new cards if you don't.
Well, after the Scroll Rack came in Oath of Druids.
Yeah. So this is better for him.
So Caleb's facing down Oath again. Does he have?
It's a bird in hand.
Yeah, the bird in hand. If he were to get survival, no. I was say if he had survival, he might be able to get anger, then get Elvish Lyrist.
Survival would fix things for him. Naturalize would fix things. Natural Order might even fix things.
Yeah, getting a Phantom Neshoba could be. Alright, so John's untapping, so he's going to gain 1 from this Ivory Tower. And now he gets the Oath. There's a Guy's Blessing trigger. A Pyroclasm is real. That's one of the sideboard cards.
Left the Crypt in.
And then
the Shard Phoenix.
Yep. Okay. Phoenix is in play. The bird is the word.
Here's another thing. Another reason not to play the bird. Because if he oaths in the Phoenix, if he sacks the Phoenix, he can't oath anymore. But if you have a bird in play and they sack the Phoenix, they get to keep oathing because the Phoenix won't kill it.
Right. Yeah.
So I think probably in Caleb's.
That's what I was trying to say, and then you were to say like, oh, it's probably just because he's keeping it for survival.
Well, I don't listen to what you say. I just. You have to shoot itself?
The Lavamancer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. At this point, the Oath is not really problematic. He'll block. All right. So I guess Caleb has the option of triggering Oath. No? On his turn. Is there anything, I mean, what would give him the best position? I mean, probably Phantom Neshoba.
Yeah.
But it's so random. There's so many creatures in Caleb's deck.
But you gotta do it, right?
Yeah.
See what happens.
Well, I mean, like John could not block there and then just say, okay, I'm gonna attack for 2. You're gonna attack for 1. I have an Ivory Tower in play.
Yeah. John, well in the driver's seat here.
Now the land tax is here. So we got the land tax, the oath, the scroll rack. Oh, we're all right.
Well.
Oath of a monkey. All right, so that goes up to 17. Yeah, the orangutan takes out the scroll rack, which
Crack-a-rack.
is pretty good. I mean, and he's naturalized for land tax. So how does this game plan go now that both stays in play?
I don't know.
So if things go long, I'm just trying to think what Caleb would assemble. I mean, it's probably something with survival and having access to a bunch of bunch of mana, and then just making a big board presence.
I kind of like this play. I kind of do like this play because Caleb just needs time, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's another scroll rack.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do see Caleb. He does have the squee in hand, and then still that birds that he's had, I think, the entire game.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what the last card is, but
I think I saw another naturalize.
really,
I think he drew naturalize last turn,
okay.
but we'll see. It looked like one of them ugly
yeah.
naturalizes he plays. I said it. Great player can't pick his naturalizes, right?
I feel like lately that has been the card that I need more copies of. I just have naturalized in all my sideboards.
I literally bought like 20 naturalizes a month or two ago, and it was like the best decision ever.
Yeah.
Just like never looking for naturalizes again.
Well,
what a life.
Yeah, when I first started, it was Duress that I was always getting, and now I have a bunch of those, and naturalize is the card that I'm always looking for. Well, this Shard Phoenix has dealt a lot of damage. There is a naturalize for that oath. Yep.
Can he find the Flame Tongue Kavu to get rid of this? Get rid of this.
Well, Flame Tongue would kill itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Racking my brain on what answers he has to this. Shard Phoenix is just racing his gorilla. Well, we have
Survival
of the Fittest. But what do we do with it?
Well, if Caleb had more life, then it wouldn't be such an issue, really, because then he could just get cards like Anger and Arrogant Worm and then just kind of commit to the board now that the Oath of Druids is gone. But
this is a nice position he's got himself into. Out of 4-card hand,
yes,
he is sitting with his survival in play.
Oh no. A Ray of Revelation is waiting there. So at least Caleb will get some activations out of this.
Looks like he can Arrogant Worm.
You could put an Arrogant Worm. You could also, I think you want Anger.
I think you want Genesis. Well,
you could put Anger in the graveyard and then just hard cast a Genesis and attack for 4.
Yeah, I guess should work.
that would open it up to getting Swords of Plowshares, but
I think if he gets, here's what I would if I were in Caleb's shoes, I would get Genesis and Elvish Lyrist, I think.
Okay.
And Anger.
I think Anger is the most important card here.
Yeah.
Because it just makes.
But he can't get them all.
No.
Well, he could end with Lyris in his hand, right? He gets Genesis here, and then he discards the Genesis and gets a Elvish Lyris.
Yeah. I like that.
I told him to play a Scavenging Folk, but did he listen? BK told you to play Scavenging Folk. He didn't bring the Genesis in, did he?
Would you play Scavenging Folk or Elvish Scrapper?
Scavenging Folk.
Scavenging Folk?
Because you don't want to die to
Engineer Plague. Yeah.
Also, I love the artwork on the Scavenging Folk from Dark. He's got this big old. That one up. He's got this big old hand. It's hilarious. I remember the oldest version. I think the Chronicles one had that has a big grip.
Here, I can try. Is it Scavenger?
Oh, he's getting Baloth. Why doesn't he have his Genesis in his deck?
Oh, here. There we go.
There you go. You know, I didn't realize for a very long time that was not his hand. He's just carrying an arm.
What?
Yeah, see, he's holding the ring in one hand and he's holding a person's meaty arm in the other. I thought it was just a ridiculous artwork with a ridiculous.
I honestly didn't even notice there was an arm there
hand.
To begin with.
But it's carrying around somebody's arm. They are. I don't know.
Yeah, he or she. I
don't know the gender here. Back it up. Yes. I won't gender you, Scavenger Folk.
So you got Ravenous Baloth? Was that the card he ended up with in his hand?
He's at 7.
Yeah. That buys him some time. And also I don't know if it's relevant, but it plays around Oath in some sense. But
yeah.
Armageddon. Oh my goodness.
Big game.
It shuts off the anger. That
is big game.
Yeah, that's enough for Caleb. Like, he can't do anything after all his lands go. And yeah, just the ooh man.
Chicken Geddon.
I mean, that's kind of the power of the Parfait Oath deck. I mean, like, obviously we talk about when the pieces don't line up, it can sit around and do nothing, but it has the potential to fight any angle that prevents you from playing creatures, and then it's gonna just slam the door with an Armageddon or
It's just such a robust deck as far as the directions it can go. And
I'm gonna quick check to see if there's anyone that maybe can slide on camera. Otherwise, we can maybe talk about what we think is going to be in the top 8.
Maybe Lester will be battling for his tournament life still. Best green card is Survival of the Fittest. That's what I think. Yeah, it's a good blue-white card, though. I don't know if it's the best blue-white card. Oh, so John Tschida will be in our top 8. I don't remember who else in top 8. Will Smith is in top 8. Will Smith. Will Hurst. How did I mess that up? Yeah, Will Hurst made top 8. Ian DeGraff's in top 8.
I think the last match just finished.
Okay.
So I think
of the round.
Yeah, people are moving along.
Who was at our top 3 tables? Do you remember?
Well, the top table was 2 people that were X0-1. Yeah. I don't have the standings.
The person playing Elves, we saw earlier.
Yeah.
He's top 8. Ian's top 8.
Blake?
Will is top 8. Blake is top 8.
Did you say Dylan?
Dylan is top 8. And
so people probably can associate more with the decks that are playing. Yeah. So we have Elves. Will is on Mono Blue Stifle Knot.
Yeah.
Dylan is playing Full English Breakfast.
Greater Good
was Blake that we saw.
Parfait Parfait Oath.
Parfait Oath. Okay, so that's John.
And Ian's also playing Parfait Oath.
Okay.
Oath. So we got 2 Parfaits in the top 8.
We've said 6 of those.
Yeah.
One of them we don't know, right?
One of them we don't know, and the last one I don't know.
I don't know who the X-0-1s were.
I don't know who the last
Druid.
XO one is.
So that's a good idea, I guess, of what we have for our top 8 coming. I guess we can switch back to us real quick. But I think, I mean, it sounds like because we're just wrapping things up. I don't think it'll be long until we have our top 8 and we'll get things going. So
yeah, that was. You said the last round just finished, so yeah, we should.
Yeah, it was Stasis against blue-white control, and a Seal Cleansing went to try to destroy a Stasis, and that got countered. And there were like 17 tap mana on the blue-white side. He goes, "All right, I'll concede."
Okay.
Adrian had Stasis and Spellbook, and
was that Ethan?
I don't know. I don't recognize who it was. So
that's pretty great.
Yeah. So yeah, it'll be fun. I guess of the decks that we saw, or that we talked about. I think I want to see the greater good combo deck back in the.
Yeah, I think we all want to see that happen again.
I think it could be definitely a different match if there's more interaction, but that one seems like a fun one to watch. So we might be able to get that on camera, but it also might be a little bit different depending on who the last people or persons are in the top 8. So I'm ready to go to break. Is there anything did you want to talk about first?
I think I'd like to get a break and get ready for this top 8.
Yeah, so we'll take an intermission as we get things set up, but I don't think it's going to be long before we get our players ready for our top 8. So.
Yeah, should be back under 10 minutes, I would say.
Okay, and we will see you soon for the top 8.